Something you should know.
Time now for Something You Should Know, brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's also something you should know. You can put your retirement plan on the gold standard. Genesis Gold Group is the only IRA backed by physical gold and silver. Learn more and get a free gold and silver guide at GenesisGoldIRA.com. Excited to have a comedy call today with Nurse Blake. He's doing his Shock Advised tour, and this looks like a lot of fun. First of all, thank you for taking the time to chat. How long have you been doing stand-up comedy?
I've been doing stand-up for about 4 years now. I never thought when I got into nursing I would be doing comedy, you know?
Yeah. But the thing that's cool, you do such a great job of taking what you do for like a pretty serious job. You know, think about nursing. That's a pretty serious job. But you find a way to share some stories and make it very lighthearted and fun. And I think that's necessary.
Yeah, you know, nursing is one of the hardest jobs out there. We work 12 hours nonstop, don't even get pee breaks or time for lunch. But I say, like, nurses are probably some of the funniest people out there because one of the ways we get through the shift is with our very dark, sometimes inappropriate humor, because you're right. We see life, we see death, we see patients that put Febreze cans up their butt. I mean, we smell it, we touched it. And, you know, we got to get through the shift with some lighthearted humor.
Well, and I'm a stand-up comic in Sioux Falls, and there's another comedian here who happens to be a nurse. His name is Joey. And so I get to hear kind of his perspective on things. And then the other thing that's cool, when he comes to a show, a lot of his nurse friends come to the shows as well. So I think that there are a lot of nurses who go, you know what, I need to laugh because of the stuff I see every day. They just need to be able to take a little break and chuckle, right? I'm
telling you, my shows, they are so loud. These nurses are so ready to have a night out because they never get the chance to do it. Because most of the time, when we put in paid time off, we get it denied. We don't even get vacation. So nurses, they just call out, which is so funny. And they come in party buses. They come in custom T-shirts. They are loud. The first thing they do is they hit that liquor bar. And these theaters, I'm like, you better make sure you have enough vodka tequila for my shows because these nurses, they're dehydrated, so they like to drink when they can.
They're going to be heavily medicated by the end of the show, just so you know.
Yes, they are.
Now,
yeah, they are.
You know, in addition to doing stand-up comedy, you are a social media influencer, and you're on all of these different platforms, and you're doing some fun stuff on there. What made you decide to do that? And was that something that you were nervous at first? Because I'm wondering if, like, the place where you work as a nurse, do they get upset that you're posting videos, or do they not really care?
Yeah, they definitely didn't like that. So I'm no longer, you know, a nurse in the hospital anymore because HRs won't approve me. Because, you know, one thing I love to do is I love to advocate for nurses. So if ever a hospital is treating their staff bad, I am going to call them out. We are going to go on strike. You know, we're going to bring some light to the situation. So hospitals are definitely afraid to hire me because I'm very outspoken and I will make fun of them. But yeah, I started on social media. You know, like you said, nursing is a very hard job and I just needed an outlet to kind of share my story and connect with other nurses. So back in 2017, I started posting videos on Facebook, and nurses around the world were watching and commenting and sharing. And I realized that no matter if you're a nurse in Europe, Australia, Canada, we all go through pretty much the same thing. So it was really cool to kind of build this community online and then realize that, hey, nurses want more. They want to come out. They want to see me live. They want to connect with other nurses. And I started doing comedy shows.
And it's going well. 150 city tour. That's pretty darn good, man.
It's pretty insane. It's really cool to see nurses kind of from all over. You know, I'll do a show wherever there's a hospital. There's pretty much a hospital everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. And you had a chance recently to perform on the Netflix Is a Joke Festival. And, you know, there's some huge names on there.
Yeah.
Chelsea Handler, Chris Rock. I mean, and then Nurse Blake. How does it feel to be shoulder to shoulder with some of those gigantic names in comedy?
You know, it's pretty awesome. You know, they all wanted to show me pictures of the rashes. And I'm like, no, I'm not a nurse tonight. I'm off the clock. I'm just doing my comedy show. So it's really fun to interact and engage with them and to kind of bring this new audience of nurses into, you know, the comedy space and the comedy world.
So when people come out to a show and get a chance to see Nurse Blake, how different is what they see on stage from what they see on social media? Is it like night and day difference?
You're going to get a lot more of me raw and unfiltered for sure. You know, I'm I'm more vulnerable. I'm more honest. I'm more open. You're going to get my whole story of growing up in Florida to my parents and just my wild family I have down here to life in nursing school and life as a nurse. So it's definitely a lot more raw and personal.
And you're going to be in the neighborhood here. You're going to be in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, November 7th. And you're going to be in November 2nd in Pueblo, Colorado. So we're kind of in between those two. So like I was saying before we got on the air, I'm going to see if we can maybe route you through this area. But no matter what, it's worth the drive. Even if you have to go a little ways to see him, it's going to be well worth the drive.
Yeah, it's going to be such an awesome night. You know, you don't have to be in healthcare to come to my show. Your mom's probably a nurse, your aunt, or you probably dated a nurse. And if you dated one of us, I'm so sorry because we are so toxic. We are red flags.
Well, Nurse Blake, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it.
Again, Nurse Blake, it's the Shock Advised Tour. You can see the entire tour schedule at nurseblake.com.
And something you should know.
Something You Should Know is brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Put your retirement plan on the gold standard. Get a free gold and silver guide now at GenesisGoldIRA.com.